Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Multitap, episode 16. Multitap is our weekly nerd culture, mainly gaming though, podcast that you can listen to each and every Monday on your favorite podcast services. If you wanted to, of course, you could get the podcast 3 days early as well as support the show. Gain a few perks in the meantime. To do that, you can head on over to patreon.com/GamesTechMM, where tiers start at just $1 a month. And it seriously does help a lot. So thank you. I'm your humble host, Enzo. Joining me today is your not so humble co-host with the most, BDB, Bruno.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. What about you, man?
I've been all right. Just chilling mostly.
Yeah. This whole,
Kind of very
chair.
Relatively slow week, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a pretty slow week. Very slow, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get into the few news, Jesus,
news.
Yeah, I had a stroke there. I was gonna say noise, the few noise, and then I thought about that too hard. So there's that. Before we get into that, let's talk about what we've been playing and watching. I've been playing just more Ghost of Tsushima. Been watching The Boys. That's really good. We started awesome. That. Yeah. I watched Black Panther for the first time the other day because there's a lot of Marvel movies I've never seen.
Yeah, you've never even seen pretty much any movie that came out the past couple years before Endgame you hadn't seen.
Yeah. Ant-Man, either Ant-Man I've never seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Never seen Guardians 2.
You never saw Captain Marvel, didn't you?
Captain Marvel I haven't seen. I haven't seen Thor, Dark World. There's just a lot of them I haven't seen.
Yeah, there are some of them that you can miss, like Thor, the Dark World. That one's not really good.
Yeah, it's
I mean, Ant-Man and the Wasp, I didn't particularly like either, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's set up clearly a lot of shit for Endgame.
I mean, barely. You just kind of learn a bit more about the quantum realm, but not in the way that they use it in Endgame. It just, the end credit scene is when everyone disappears during the snap.
Yeah.
So it's they didn't really do much so far as the world building. I guess it just kind of hints that oh yeah, he didn't get snapped because he was here.
Right. What about you, man? What have you been?
Yeah, so like you have been watching The Boys. That show's really, really good. If you haven't watched it yet, you should definitely do yourself a favor. It's an Amazon Prime original.
Season 2 just dropped.
Yeah. Just can't wait to finish season 1 up and then start that.
Yeah.
But so far as what I've been playing, just a bit of Battlefront 2 again. Mostly Ewok Hunt again. That mode's just really, really fun to fuck around in. And then I played Warframe for the first time. Because I know you guys have been playing that for the longest. Yeah, that's right.
You've never played Warframe.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's pretty fun. I haven't really done much in it other than just a couple missions. I'm on Venus now, so definitely not far, but slowly progressing through the game. It's a fun time though. I like the movement is really fluid, and I really fuck with that.
Yeah. It's improved a whole hell of a lot since it came out on PS4, but
Yeah, I'm digging it. I'll definitely have to delve deeper into some of the more, in-depth missions and longer stuff like that, like the grind aspect of it.
Yeah, that's where it loses me.
Yeah, that's probably where it might lose me. I'm not too big on that, but I also restarted Destiny 2 again because I forgot, it's a free game, so I figured I'd download it again and go back into it. And I've been having a pretty good time with that so far. I've just been playing it today and yesterday. It's really fun. There's so much shit since the last time I played to where it's kind of overwhelming. Not gonna lie, but I'm gonna try to just go through and do what I can blindly. Well, and then I'll probably look some stuff up as to some of the bigger raids and items that are available to me.
Yeah. Well, okay. It says you've also been playing Battlefront 2.
Yeah, like I said, mostly just Ewok Hunt.
Oh, dude, I completely blanked out. I didn't hear mostly just Ewok Hunt. I might not have even heard that whole shit. Did you end with Destiny?
Yeah, because I started with The Boys just because you had mentioned it.
Adjusting
and then I did
shit.
Battlefront and then Warframe and then Destiny.
Oh my God. All right. We're already off to a fucking fantastic start then.
You guys know what to expect by now.
Yeah, holy shit. Speaking of which, the numbers are up and looking really good. So just thank you everyone for,
of course. Thanks.
for your support.
We really appreciate it. We really couldn't naturally we'd still do the show, but knowing that people actually are enjoying it and watching is pretty damn good feeling.
Damn right.
So thank you.
Yeah. And Bruno, we usually go into some random non-nerd culture topic.
Finally got a non-nerd culture one.
Yeah. What do you?
It's been a while.
What do you want to talk about?
This is an interesting one. I told you about this earlier, but the Travis Scott crossover with McDonald's. He's gonna get a burger there, the Travis Scott burger, and apparently
beautiful.
Some like Happy Meal toys.
Happy Meal toys? No shit.
Yeah. I'm curious to see. I definitely probably won't get any of this. I don't really eat at McDonald's. I will try those spicy nuggets when they come out though. I'm not gonna lie. I like spicy nuggets is where I always, if you get them, I'll try them. I tried Burger King's. They were kind of meh. Wendy's is still like top tier of the spicy chicken nuggets. Yeah. So I'm curious. But I saw this Travis Scott McDonald's crossover thing and I was like, this can't be real. But I have a friend of mine who posted like and a lot of people actually have been posting the I guess template for when they make the Travis Scott burger, so it is a real thing. Yeah. It's a cheese, a patty, cheese, 3 half strips of bacon, shredded lettuce, I think pickles, and then onion, ketchup, mustard, and then of course that's just between 2 buns. That's essentially what it is.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's a pretty standard McDonald's burger. Obviously, they're probably about to make bank off of it, though, because it's Travis Scott. If you guys don't know who Travis Scott is, of course, he's the famous musician. I don't know how you haven't heard of him at this point, because he's been crossing over with everything. Like, he did a Fortnite one.
Yeah, I was going to say either that or you know him from Fortnite.
Yeah, so, like, his name's kind of spread everywhere. Like, I don't even listen to his music, and I know who he is.
I like a song or two.
Yeah, I mean, I don't...
Not a huge fan.
Sometimes I'll hear songs and I won't know who it is, so I might have heard a song from him that I do like and just not know. But
Goosebumps is Travis Scott.
Well, yeah, I know that. I do like that song. Okay. I'm just saying I've probably heard more than I think, but I just might not know.
What Kendrick's in that song, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why does he come with such a weak ass verse?
I think that's kind of most of his features, though, right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. For people to be calling him like the fucking savior of hip hop,
I was thinking about it today. There's
I'm not down with it.
What's the name of that song? "Pray for Me," the Weeknd song that was in Black Panther.
Yeah, that was a weak ass verse too.
Yeah, the verse he comes in with that is like, damn, that is really like the song was pretty damn good until they came in.
Dude, features. I don't know about like the rap game now, but how it used to be for fucking ever is like you brought your A game with features.
Yeah.
And it was so that you would murder whoever it was on the track with you so that people would go and listen to your shit. And it's just, I really don't know what's what with fucking features now, I guess. Cause Kendrick's, don't get me wrong, I'm not a huge fucking fan of Kendrick Lamar to begin with. Everyone always tells me I should be. Him and like Chance the Rapper.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever listened to Chance the Rapper though. So I don't know.
Like super woke one.
J. Cole.
I
don't think I've heard either J. Cole or Chance the Rapper, so I can't definitively say if I like them or not. I'll probably give them a try.
Chance the Rapper's okay, but it's one of those like Eazy-E things where it's like a lot of people just didn't like Eazy-E because of his voice and his flow.
Oh, okay.
And that's how I kind of feel about Chance.
Yeah, but you like Eazy-E.
Yeah, I love Eazy-E.
Yeah, which is weird for you because you don't like when people do a voice when they...
No, typically not. Typically not. But maybe it's because he was so ingrained in NWA.
Mm-hmm.
And NWA is probably my favorite group. So
over Wu-Tang?
God damn it. Why do you do this to me? No, it's probably got to be Wu-Tang.
Yeah, I just... knowing you, I would always assume Wu-Tang is like your top tier group. Yeah, they're both extremely good.
Yeah. Which, I mean, Wu-Tang just put out an album like last year.
For real?
Yeah. They're still...
Was it pretty good?
Yeah. Wu-Tang.
Well, but...
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, ODB died, so there's that. You don't know who ODB is?
No, I do not.
Old Dirty Bastard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He died a couple years back.
Damn, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, ODB was a fucking G till the end, bro. Like, till the motherfucking end.
Yeah.
And I mean, Method and Red are still kind of, just the same old.
I remember you showed me a Red song that came out not too long ago that was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
So it's fun seeing them. And then, of course, they, last thing I saw them in was actually the Jay and Silent Bob reboot, because they talk about Hi being their favorite movie, and they show up in there, and I love that just because I do like that movie. It's a really funny movie. But since we mentioned like rap features, one that came to mind that's like probably one of my favorite ones is Eminem on Forever, which that whole song is basically just features.
Yeah,
but his verse was super dope.
He needed to come back extra hard with that feature, and it's because that was when he just got back into music.
Okay.
Yeah, so which I go back and forth on him, because as you get older, like, a lot of his shit doesn't hold up very well. Like I've said probably a couple times, I like going back and listening to like the Slim Shady LP and shit like that is, like, Kim is a really weird song, bro. Like,
yeah, I haven't gone back.
Disturbingly
and
weird.
I own the Marshall Mathers LP on vinyl, so I
that's
probably
still a solid,
should listen to it again. Like,
solid
the whole thing.
fucking album, but like I don't know, his newer stuff's kind of
it's not for me.
It's hit and miss. And then he did all those accents for a lot of. Relapse was almost exclusively him doing accents.
Yeah, I just remembered a couple of the songs from Relapse, and one of the first ones was Bagpipes from Baghdad.
Yeah,
which it was just an accent throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean the entire album.
Yeah,
he does not at any point not do an accent.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
which I know it's like something he's done before, but like for your whole album is.
I want to say there might actually be one song. I don't know, but too many accents. I despite that, like, that album's pretty good though. But I don't know. Maybe it was a weird time in hip hop too. But yeah, so but no, like for example, my favorite is probably the shit he did with Royce the 5'9", that song Caterpillar.
Caterpillar. Yeah, that's a really good verse.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But then of course I really liked Wayne's verse on We the Best.
I don't know if I remember his verse. I don't even know if I remember that song.
Oh man, he comes in. He's I am the beast. Feed me raps, feed me beats. Oh man,
yeah,
it's so good.
I haven't heard that song in forever, so I probably just don't remember his verse. I'd have to go back and listen to it though, because I do love Wayne's features. Most of them are pretty good.
Wayne's features are really good.
He probably was my favorite verse in that song. Was it "Sucker for Pain" on fucking the Suicide Squad soundtrack?
Yeah.
Not a particularly great song, but his verse I really liked.
No, yeah, I'll listen to it just to get to his verse.
Yeah.
But that, like, old Wayne sound is really good. Like, Sky's the Limit is one of my favorite songs.
That is a really good song too.
Yeah. And
I listened to that. It's on my Spotify playlist. I was shuffling it while I was playing games and the song came on. It was perfect.
Dude, that era of rap was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, can't beat it. Yeah.
It's cool that we got to this through the Travis Scott thing, because we don't really talk about like music a whole lot on here. Or especially, I guess, rap more than anything. But that's it's cool.
Yeah, I fucking love rap. Not new.
Arguably, I'd say it's your favorite genre, right?
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Because I know you also recently get in a lot to that, like early 2000s, like. Yeah,
but that kind of came later.
Yeah, rap's just kind of always been there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Rap and a little bit of R&B, though I couldn't I couldn't name shit like I could with rap.
I got you.
Like whenever I meet people who are like real hardcore R&B fans, and they'll start naming shit, and I'm like, bro, no, I need you to stop, because I can't. Like,
but you'll start dropping some names with the rap.
Old school rap, yeah.
That's dope.
Well, what's now considered old school rap. Yeah. But
I don't think I particularly get too deep into genres so far as like particular artists or any people, but I always find it really cool when people like drop some shit that I've never heard of, and I'm like, listen to it. I'm like, this shit's really good. Why has no one mentioned this before?
Yeah.
Like, you were the first person who showed me Hobson, and when I heard Hobson, I was like, bro, why is this man not like on top of the game right now?
Yeah, well, it's because his style of rap isn't really marketable anymore. I mean, same goes for like A$AP Rock. A$AP Rock has been consistently the best lyricist in the game, and I didn't even hear about A$AP Rock until not that long ago.
Yeah, like
considerably way too long for me to not know A$AP Rock. Probably 2012, 2013. Hey, he's been around since for a while.
Yeah, I guess that is strange, especially for someone like you who does get pretty deep into it.
Yeah, and like by far one of my favorite songs is Ruby 81 from Skeleton. Dude, that, oh my God, that is like the antithesis of what rap should be when it comes to lyricists, because he uses a binaural beat with no bass and just lyrically tells, it's just like he tells this story about this little girl almost drowning at a fucking like family barbecue.
I don't think I've heard that song.
Lyrically, it's insane. Like, that song gives me chills every time I hear it.
I'll have to check that out. You said it's called Ruby 38?
Ruby 81.
Ruby 81.
Yeah,
I don't know why I thought 38.
Yeah. Anyways, this is a gaming podcast, I swear.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and get into our game suggestions of the week. This is where we suggest a game that you should play if you have nothing else to play. Might not be anything relevant, might be relevant. Maybe it's on sale. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Mine for this week is none of those things. It's going to be the original Mirror's Edge, 2008 Mirror's Edge by DICE. EA owned studio, of course, most notably known for their, the Battlefield series, but they also worked on the latest Battlefront, and they developed the Frostbite engine for EA. Oddly enough, here's a fun little fact while I was looking into this. Something that I didn't realize is that DICE created Frostbite. The first game to run on Frostbite was Battlefield Bad Company 2. Another favorite game of mine. It came out after Mirror's Edge in 2008. Mirror's Edge ran Unreal 3. So they were co-developing Frostbite, and Battlefield Bad Company 2 was running in it. But they never made Mirror's Edge. Of course, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, the second one that came out, God, I can't remember when it came out, later ran on Frostbite. It was the first action-adventure game to run in Frostbite. So that's just fun fact for you. Anyways, Mirror's Edge...
2016 was Catalyst.
Okay. Mirror's Edge is a first-person platformer?
Yeah, like it's a parkour platformer.
It's a parkour platformer. This game's amazing. Like, truly is one of my favorite games ever. You can get it right now on Steam for $4.99. You can also get it on the Xbox 360 marketplace for $14.99, and it is backwards compatible with Xbox One. So you can play this on Xbox One. PS4 players, I'm sorry, I got nothing for you. It is on PS3, but And you can get it if you have EA Access, which is EA's like
their service where you can get their games, basically.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I only know one person who
free,
has this.
But yeah, literally no one has this. Yeah. So yeah, that's my game. 2008's Mirror's Edge by DICE.
Nice. It is a really good game. I'll have to go back and actually go through the whole thing. I've just played like a couple hours of it.
Yeah,
I'll have to go and finish it.
I'm thinking about going back and
yeah, I might have to join you in that.
I played that entire game. I think I mentioned this
last week.
Yeah, I played that entire game without ever picking up a weapon.
Yeah, I didn't know you could until I was shown that you could.
Yeah,
and then I was like, that probably would make it a lot easier.
Parkour works so crazy in it. So you can like lift your legs up when you jump, which extends the jump. And dude, there are some of those speed runs, like I've watched them and I'm like, I'm fucking astonished at how you got to this.
I've never seen speed run. That's probably really fucking cool.
Dude, they're like speed trials and shit like that. I think I have it on PS3. Seriously, I got to download it and show it to you.
Yeah. Imagine like a VR Mirror's Edge. Probably be really fun.
It might be really fucking sickening.
I don't know. From what I've played of VR, I don't typically get that sick. Like I've played.
Yeah, but did you play Skyrim?
No, I never did.
Yeah.
I wanted to because you had said you got sick, and I was like, I kind of want to test that, but you had already refunded it.
Oh, man,
I've played.
It was so bad.
But I have played Blade and Sorcery, admittedly, for just hours on end without stopping, and that's not a good thing. I imagine
that franchise,
but I do love that game. It's so fun.
Yeah, fair enough. What's your game for the week?
Yeah, so for this week I got Middle-earth: Shadow of War from Monolith Productions. Yeah, we were talking about Gollum last week, and it got me thinking about just Lord of the Rings as a whole, which I tend to do just naturally. But I picked this one over Shadow of Mordor just because I think while Shadow of Mordor has a better story, this game just builds upon a lot of the gameplay aspects so far as the combat is a lot better. Parkour's a little bit smoother in this one. The abilities are a bit more dynamic in what you can do, and it allows for bigger range of just overall like mounts and stuff. Especially when you get drakes. That's really cool.
I do find it hilarious that Shadow of War introduced Shelob, right?
Yeah.
That is right around the time that the Tolkien estate, I think, cut everything off, right?
I believe so.
And there were rumors that it was because it took the lore and completely fucked it. But that wasn't the case, was it? It was something to do with...
it was I believe it was the Fellowship of the Ring slot machine game or something like that.
It came out right around this time. And Christopher Tolkien, which is J.R.R. Tolkien's son, was fucking livid.
Who has since passed. Passed in January.
Rip. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, this game right now is on sale, $9.99 on PS4, and then if you have Game Pass, once again, fucking get Game Pass. It's more than worth it. We're kind of just beating you over the head with it at this point, but we will continue to do so until you get it.
Yeah,
it's on Game Pass for PC and Xbox One.
Yeah, and
so fucking do yourself a favor, play it.
It's a follow up to Shadow of Mordor, which was infamously sued by the creators of Assassin's Creed 2. Because they completely stole the code for parkour.
Yeah, but I love that game. So I beat that game so much. It doesn't.
It's good.
It's really fun. It's really disheartening though for me knowing that it breaks so much lore in canon.
Oh, a shit ton.
And it really hurts my soul. But
yeah,
I love so many of the things it introduced. Mainly the Nemesis system. It's the only game I've seen utilize this fucking thing. And no one else is trying to do anything similar to it. It really bothers me because I think it's such a cool mechanic that should be used. Not all the time, naturally. I don't think it works all the time, but it's just so unfortunate that we don't see it happen a lot. And Camille Nanjiani played a fucking orc in Shadow of War. So
yeah, he did.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I really like Camille Nanjiani.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to see him in Eternals.
Yeah. Holy shit,
he got
get jacked buff for Eternals.
It's fucking awesome.
Whoa, bro. Goddamn. I look at that sometimes and I'm like, see, you could do it, you piece of shit. But then again, I remember I'm not a multi-millionaire who's contracted out by Marvel to literally just get buff. So
yeah, you could be.
Yes.
Imagine if they were like, hey, we want you to play in the new X-Men, you can be the Blob.
What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit.
Except in that case, you'd have to get bigger.
Yeah.
Instead of buffer.
Yeah, you dick. Shadow of War for me broke too much lore.
Yeah.
So I was not a huge fan, though I would very much like a Lord of the Rings RPG. All I'm saying. We're going to get that MMO.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited to try that out.
This Gollum game, though, man.
That's the more and more that we keep seeing for. It's like I said last week, I'm constantly on and off the fence.
So I saw some concept art that was going around recently on Instagram, and it was basically there were a bunch of renditions of Gollum, and there was one in particular that I was like, yo, if they would have went with this, I'd probably be more on board. Because I like the idea of a redesign and a completely redesigned universe.
Yeah.
Like entirely. Yet at the same time, that's not really what they did. And I don't like this whole, he was a fucking giant. That's stupid. But someone redesigned him to look seriously like a Gorillaz fucking character. Like the band Gorillaz. Yeah.
So like 2D from Gorillaz?
What do you mean?
He's the dude who has like the blacked out eyes.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the one that reminds me the most of Gollum. So
I don't know much about Gorillaz. I really like their shit, but I don't know much about them.
Yeah, that's 2D.
They constantly collab with Del the Funky Homo Sapien.
Yeah, which is
another
awesome.
one of my favorite artists.
Yeah.
So fucking dude, Deltron 3030.
It's a great album.
God damn. It's so good. It's so good. Like I seriously cannot. That's probably one of my favorite albums ever. Anyways, Gollum was literally looked like a like 2D from Gorillaz, and it was just like, bro, holy shit. Yes, more of
was
this. Was
it in
please.
That same like art style, or did they do the 3D art like?
No. It was in that same art style. It was just like a sketching.
Oh, nice.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and it was just Gollum.
I'm cool with that. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, if we would have got this, like a little bit more hair, a little more mangy, a little less on the looking decrepit, and a little more on the like heavy bags under the eyes. Dude, it looked so good.
I'm confused as to why their motivation for making him look. I mean, they explained why he looks so similar and the world looks so similar to the Peter Jackson verse, because they said it's kind of hard to not make it look like that now, because that's what everyone's familiar with. So they just wanted to keep that familiarity for the fans, because they even mentioned that, like, technically Better is a fortress, not a tower entirely. I mean, so they were tempted to do the fortress thing, but they thought everyone knows the tower, let's do the tower.
Here's the thing that bothers me. Nobody is going to buy a Gollum game except Lord of the Rings fans. Like hardcore Lord of the Rings fans. Unless you fucking create a very awesome, unique art style, like, I don't know, the one used by Gorillaz, and then make the character completely new, completely not new, but aesthetically
reimagine
new and different. Reimagine it. Show it off a little bit. Promote it more as a standalone game than something within the Lord of the Rings universe.
Yeah.
Yet it is in the Lord of the Rings universe. And if you separate all these, show it as a new stealth 3D platformer type game, I think it would be just fine. But I don't know. The separation with Andy Serkis's Gollum from Peter Jackson's universe and this, I don't want to play this fucking game.
The thing that's really absurd to me is the reason that Gollum looks the way he does, because they wanted it to be like a more, not even necessarily a friendlier character, but just someone that, I believe what they said was that something that you're okay, like jumping into this person's skin for a couple hours to play the game. We're like, does anyone really care about that?
I really don't know. I don't
like, any Lord of the Rings fan knows what Gollum is, so they don't, I think, care, because.
And the way they're marketing this one, it looks like only Lord of the Rings fans are going to buy it.
And I might not even get it.
That's why I really like the marketing for something like Shadow of War.
Mm-hmm.
As where they marketed it as its own kind of standalone type thing.
I mean, some of the marketing for that game was mainly just like comedy sketches, which is something completely different from the Lord of the Rings, where like there's the one that I love so much where it's the dude like saves his orc in while he's playing the game in the commercial, and then the dude goes through his life and he's like almost falls off a ladder as the old man, the fucking orc that he saved in the game saves him in real life, and it was just a fun dumb commercial. Because it was like showing the allied ability that you get in the Shadow games, where you can make the orcs your own.
So what I was going to say earlier, I just remembered I was going to say something when you were saying you wish more people would take advantage of the Nemesis tech. I do too, but it's kind of weird how there are certain games that the only other game I can remember doing something so kind of crazy at the time was Force Unleashed, and some of the new tech that they introduced. So like, and what I was going to say is it's weird how, kind of property based IPs. So like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, so on and so forth. How they kind of they oddly make this new tech to fit in with their shit that like no one else uses. So like, for example, with Force Unleashed, one of the really big things was their physics mechanics. And what I mean by this is that usually up until this point, everything was based off of if you throw something at something. So say you force through a droid into like wood, is what they showed. It broke in the same exact way every single time, right? That's how game tech works. And even some modern day game tech don't have like environmental awareness and destruction, so on and so forth. This is why control was such a big deal. Which, by the way, Force Unleashed came out in 2008. So just keep that in mind. They made a tech that, based on what the material was made of and what hit it, the density, how it's thrown, so on and so forth, depends on how it breaks. Like it breaks differently.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so this was a tech that I didn't see utilized by anything for fucking years afterwards, bro. Years. And I was just astonished that nobody else was using this tech. No one.
Yeah, that is weird. You'd think that'd be something that would be picked up, especially with a lot of modern games.
Just like with the Nemesis
having
system.
Like destructible environments. That's pretty much, I wouldn't necessarily say a staple, but it's a lot more common than it used to be.
Yeah,
especially
I think
with
it was
everything being an open world action adventure game.
It probably came down to what they were doing and what engine and so on and so forth. But it is kind of weird. And it could also come down to like these technologies being patented. So that's the other thing you have to consider too. It could be a patent that people haven't figured out how to work around to where they're not infringing on said patent.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So yeah. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and get into the news for the week. It is such a slow news week. We are including a story we completely forgot last week, but we definitely should have touched on. Which is that Sony recently started taking pre-order signups for the PS5 despite having no release date or price. And the method in which you get a pre-order is rather shady. If you ask me, but allow me to elaborate. Sony said in its post, quote, "There will be a limited quantity of PS5 consoles available for pre-order, so we will be inviting some of our existing consumers to be one of the first to pre-order one from PlayStation. Pre-order reservations will be taken on a first-come, first-served basis. So once you get an invite via email, we encourage you to follow the instructions and act fast. If you are interested in receiving an invitation, register below. Blah, 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 blah. If selected, we'll contact you via email. To learn more about PS5 console pre-orders, please visit our FAQs." Now, I read that almost exactly for a reason. I was very curious as to what method are they doing this, right? So when going to their FAQs, this is the shit that gets me. The first question is, who will be selected to receive an invitation? The answer is, our selection is based on previous interests and PlayStation activities. This is why it's particularly shady, is that what it sounds like to me is that they're going to select people who, because they say it's based off of, previous interests and PlayStation activities. That tells me that it's going to be based off of who buys digital games.
Yeah.
That's what it tells me. And the reason being is that if you have a select amount, a limited quantity of PlayStation consoles, like I said they were going to, since, I don't know what, COVID hit?
Yeah, which...
like... They've been saying they won't.
So long ago.
But okay. That you'll make more money if you can guarantee your console gets in the hands of
the people giving
consumers
you money
who buy digital games.
Yeah.
Because again, Sony makes X amount of money, usually 30% based off of, or always 30%. Now I say usually because we got into this with Fortnite last week. I think they cut a deal with Epic, but that's sheer conjecture. Like that's just based off of all the lawsuits with Apple and so on and so forth. Now, with that being said, Sony takes 30% of all games sold on their marketplace. So does Xbox, so does Steam, blah, blah, blah. We've been over this entirely too many times over the past couple podcasts. Sony would make more money if they could guarantee it won't get in the hands of someone who buys, say, Madden and Call of Duty every year. Because I know a ton of people who buy, we'll say maybe NBA 2K, Madden, Call of Duty. Or someone who, I don't know, just plays GTA Online. These 4 games are a huge portion of every console bought. And they are really some of the first adopters. Like, if I'm being 100% honest. However, if you can guarantee that they don't get it, and the people that do get it are the people who buy, 2 games in a quarter, or who have an attach rate of, I don't know, something pretty high. PlayStation's is already high, but long story short, you guarantee people who A, buy Sony games, and B, buy digital games. If you do this, then you guarantee your highest profit margin. And that is so incredibly shitty. I cannot even begin to fathom how fucked up this is, for a couple different reasons. One, I don't think that it is any less valid. Someone who wants to get a PS5 who maybe doesn't have the money to shell out for a game every month or every time a new game releases, or only buys the sales, or someone who for the most part plays free to play games, but they get a game or two a year. We're talking about the families who have kids who, they save up an entire year to get that Christmas present or to get that birthday present. Or people who save up the entire year to get, X, Y, or Z. These consoles are most likely going to be $500, though I still believe that the digital edition is going to be $400 to $450. And this kind of solidifies that 400 mark. Remember I said that the $450 price mark for the digital console makes sense because that, according to I think the Forbes report, would be around what they were paying for the console, but that they would take a $50 cut in order to sell a digital edition, knowing that every single game bought, they're going to get 30% off, which they would make their money back easily with, a couple games bought. 4 games bought and you're already up. This kind of solidifies why I think they're going to go for a $400 price tag and push everyone to digital. It's kind of future-proofing your profit margins, which is a smart idea. I'm not saying it's not, but taking a loss on a console so that you can improve profit margins is not the same as selectively offering pre-orders to your fan base that seemingly already has, I don't want to say that has access to more funds than other people. Like everything's already, kind of, I don't want to get this completely misread as far as my position on this. But I do think that selectively cutting out, from what it sounds like, people with less money is a shitty thing to do. Like through and through, one of the shittiest things to do.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
It just, I'm all about a free market. I'm all about operating within that Dude, there's something so shitty about saying that we're gonna decide based off of PSN who gets what. And right, like this isn't even shit that would probably affect either of us. We will probably get this email for.
Yeah, probably more than likely. It's just unfortunate because we don't even, like, say if it was based off something like just playtime on PlayStation's platform, we probably wouldn't then, because I mean, I definitely play a bit more than you, but even then, like they're, like you said, the people who play Call of Duty and 2K and Madden, they're playing like constantly.
Yeah, that's like, the other thing.
These are people who are definitely devoted to playing, even though it's just these games that they play. It's like they're devoted to the point where they will.
And on
get
top of
this
that,
console.
It's probably going to be: are you a Plus subscriber? Are you a Now subscriber? Were you someone who subscribed to View, even might be considered in there? Just, are you someone who ticks off all the PlayStation brand fucking boxes?
Do you own a Vita still?
And yeah, I do. And
that's awesome though.
One of the things that really frustrates me is also it could go based off of how many devices have you had registered on your user ID? How many. And for us, again, I've owned every PlayStation console. Yeah, I had an ungodly amount of PS3s. I even had a fucking, the only thing I've never owned by PlayStation is their VR. And that's because I have a fucking Oculus.
Yeah, and their VR is not worth it.
No, especially not if you have an Oculus. Now, if you didn't have an Oculus, their VR is pretty fucking good. However, if you have the ability to run VR off of a PC, you should probably do that. Like, if you can afford it, you know what I mean? And that is what's fucking frustrating.
You think they're gonna look at people who
can afford it,
own a Pro rather than just the base console?
Dude, I would assume that they look at people. They're looking at everything, and anything whatever increases their profit margins is whatever type of player increases their profit margins. And that's the other thing that really fucking pisses me off, is that, like, dude, this, it's not quite the same. So do not misunderstand what I'm saying here. And I do want to make it very clear. I'm not just jumping to, conclusions, making fucking parables between this and that, but it fucking reminds me of when PS3 was announced with a $600 price tag in fucking, God, what was it? Fucking 2007, which was an insane amount of money, by the way. $600 for a fucking console.
Yeah, what is that if you adjust for inflation?
Close to 1,000.
Yeah.
930 something. I want to say last I looked it up. It's fucking insane, mind you. And on top of that, it's higher than what the fucking PS4 launched at, which was $399. And that was 2014.
Yeah.
So
2013, 2014.
So it still was cheaper when money was, long story short, when the PS3 was announced at $600, and at the time the head of PlayStation was asked in an interview, well, what about people who, what do you say to people who can't afford this insane fucking price tag, but still want to get a PS3? And he said, I would say get a second job if you can't afford it. And this, dude, it just fucking echoes of that same energy. That fucking, I just don't see.
It's saying
how,
it's almost like saying prove your loyalty type shit.
Like, dude, what about that fucking, and this is what I keep thinking of, and maybe this is a fucking niche example and there aren't many people in this boat, but dude, it is really shit. What about that parent who's really been looking at getting the PS5 for their kid? Their kid mainly plays, the one fucking online game that they got them, and then they play Fortnite or Apex with their friends. You know what I mean? And they don't have a ton of money, and maybe it's been a super shitty year considering COVID and so on and so forth. And this parent really wants to get them a fucking PS5. You know what I mean? And they can't. Like, don't get me wrong. I know that Amazon's still doing it. This is just directly from PlayStation. But the fact that PlayStation themselves would hinder that because of PSN user ID activity is fucking horseshit. Now, with that being said, this could very much be how much time do you spend on PSN? You know what I mean? It could be. However, with the wording, I seriously doubt that. I fucking seriously doubt that, because that would make no sense. It just wouldn't, you would just at random do it then. You know what I mean? Because Sony doesn't give a fuck how much time you spend on PSN. They care about how much money you spend on PSN.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the idea that Sony is prohibiting people who maybe don't have a ton of money, or what about who bought an Xbox One and committed to the Xbox One for this console generation, but they're really thinking about moving over to Sony?
Well,
it seems so fucking stupid. Or someone who's never owned a console before, just got into gaming because they got a Switch and maybe they were looking at the PS5. This just seems so it seems so exclusive.
Yeah.
Like it's just fucking, I don't know, man. All in all, I think it's shady. With that being said, to move on though, what you are able to pre-order via PS, so this is what you're limited to per your PSN ID per transaction. One console or PS5 digital edition, 2 DualSense wireless controllers, 2 DualSense charging stations, 2 Pulse 3D wireless headsets, 2 media remotes, and 2 HD cameras. Now, this is fucking weird that they would sell. Okay, I'll give you the 3D wireless headsets. Maybe it's like Me and You type situation, or which I guess we don't really play fucking local multiplayer all that much.
No, not really.
But say we did, I'm sure you'll be able to use 2 3D headsets at a time.
Yeah.
Right? 2 media remotes and 2 cameras? Like, fucking seriously? Why? Why would you let someone buy 2 cameras with only 1 PlayStation? You don't have to buy all of these. You can buy up to these. So you can just get a console and an extra wireless controller, and say 1 3D headset. The media remote, I don't understand. The HD camera though that is interesting that they would say 2, because don't forget, they had a problem getting PS4's camera out. For years, that thing was hard to get a hold of, and it was because it works with streaming shit. So like a lot of people were trying to stream via their PlayStation, and they were trying to use the camera, and it was just fucking impossible to find.
Huh.
Like
I mean, that doesn't make sense. I don't think I've seen anyone with the PlayStation 4 camera.
Once they started doing the VR shit is when it started becoming more readily available.
Yeah, because you need that for the PSVR.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll go ahead and move on from this, but if you get this email, you should probably act fast, because it's even saying if you get this email and you go into it, they might be sold out by the time you go to it.
Yeah, so definitely.
So it's super
alert.
limited. And if you're someone who doesn't use PSN, but you were thinking about a PS5, or if you're someone who doesn't buy a lot of games on PSN, I would suggest you go elsewhere to buy your PS5. Amazon, GameStop, fucking not directly from Sony. I would still go ahead and put in your PSN.
Yeah,
if you have one, just to see if you get that email. But ultimately, I do think it's going to go off purchase history or how many, even if it is solely based off of how old your PSN username is. And they kind of feel like they're giving an advantage to people who have been at the platform longer. I still think that's bullshit. You still want to get in new people to your fan base, and to limit that to some sort of walled garden that you have built around your online community, is horseshit in my opinion. No matter what, whether it's, they're looking at, which user IDs are attached to the, or have the highest attachment rate as far as peripherals and games, or whether it's, the PSN, like how old it is, the longevity of the account and how active it is. I still think altogether it's bullshit. One's worse than the other, infinitely worse than the other. But I still think if they go on how old your account is, I still think it's bullshit.
Keeping potential consumers away from your platform.
It's horseshit. Potential consumers who might be wanting to switch.
Yeah. And who might even be willing to dedicate more funds to this platform.
And on top of that, I don't think anyone who wants to buy one of these should be prohibited in any way, from doing so. I think what they should have done is give us your email.
Yeah.
Give us your email. We'll email you. That's what should have happened.
You could do it like a lottery.
Well, yeah. I mean, that I'd even be fine with.
Yeah.
But the idea that they're going to offer, and if you did want to offer PlayStation consumers a chance first, you should have sent out an email attached to the PSNs to everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you want to mention the thing about the US address?
Oh, yes. That's the other problem. If now in their FAQs, it says, I currently reside outside the US. If invited, can I still make a PS5 console pre-order reservation? The answer to this question is if you receive an invite, all units are still available. As long as you ship to a US based address, your pre-order reservation will be allowed. Any orders that contain a non-US based address will be canceled.
So just further boxing it in.
This, I still don't even necessarily have, a problem with. And the reason being is that most of these consoles always launch in the US before they do elsewhere. That's the way that it's, for the most part, always gone. They'll launch in the US and then they launch in other territories. So I'm not even particularly worried about or particularly concerned with that one, because whatever the launch date is, it was probably going to be not identical to the Euro or rest of the world launch anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think they'll do a similar thing with the other launches, or it's just a US specific thing for the pre-orders?
I have no idea. Honestly, I don't know. And at this point, with that, if it's that fucking limited of a supply, I would question how long it's going to be before it comes to these other territories. And I would not, on the flip side of this, like to see a US exclusive launch for anything upwards of a couple months, which is usually what it is. And I don't know, the way it's sounding, man, that may be the case. I mean, Japan historically is going down on this. Most people in Japan they switch to mobile gaming, which is why Switch is so, no pun intended, so viable in that marketplace. And Japan was another huge market. Europe has been a very big market, and so South America and Canada. And I don't know, man. With the way that the markets are changing and the way the markets are right now, specifically due to COVID, I actually wouldn't even 100% be sure that the US is the best market to launch in, especially not in November, which inevitably this is when this will launch.
Yeah.
But again, they did this with no fucking price.
And it's also really weird. You just mentioned November. That's 2 months. We're in September now.
Yeah, bro.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
That there's not a price, not a release date, nothing.
Nothing.
That's fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we get something soon. Because if not, then I don't even know if I will
Microsoft hasn't either.
Yeah, I don't know if I will grab a pre-order if nothing's announced anytime soon.
I don't think I'm going to. And it's because of our next story, Bruno. NVIDIA announced its new 3000 graphics card line price and release dates. The RTX 3080 will release September 7th. Oh, so Jesus, but before I even get into it, NVIDIA makes graphics cards before they were GTX, now they're RTX. And their current line is the RTX 2000s line, though they do have a 16 line. So it's no, the 16 is a GTX line. So not to get confused with their RTX line, which is the 2000 series. They're pretty good fucking graphics cards. Now, the RTX 3080 will release September 17th for $699. The RTX 3090 will release September 24th at $1499. And the RTX 3070 just got a price and release window. So that'll be $499 sometime in October. It is notable all three cards seem to be more powerful than the current line of RTX 2000 series. NVIDIA also announced quite a bit of new software aimed at helping performance across the board, with applications marketed towards streamers to ones just for just optimizing gaming. A notable one is its RTX IO. A new accelerated storage pipeline designed to offload game asset data decompression from the CPU to the GPU. So from the processor to the graphics card itself, accelerating performance by up to, and I quote, by up to 100 times, compared with hard drives and traditional storage APIs. Now, APIs are those little things that we talked about a couple weeks ago, that direct different shit. They communicate between all the cards, boards, and whatnot. The direct quote from NVIDIA is, quote, when used with Microsoft's new direct storage for Windows API, RTX IO offloads dozens of CPU cores worth of work to your GeForce RTX GPU, improving frame rates, enabling near instantaneous game loading, and opening the door to a new era of large, incredibly detailed open world games. Real quick on that, it is notable for a couple reasons. Their emphasis on some of this software. The reason being is that a lot of times where people get bottlenecks, so something that's causing the performance of a game to dip, or performance of almost any software to dip, is their CPU, their processor. It very rarely is the GPU. Offloading some of the CPU processing to the GPU is fucking insane. Like, it's absolutely insane. And in fact, this isn't just going to work for it's not just for games when it comes to offloading this shit. Excuse me. One of the big Dude, now I have the hiccups. One of the big things that I was seeing was they were talking about there was this NVIDIA broadcast app, and that was kind of crazy because it was talking about offloading some of the processing to the GPU instead of using the CPU so that it maintains streaming with like OBS or something like that at a higher frame rate for the game than it does if you're not using this. So if you're just using an encoder or something like that. And I got to tell you, as I don't know if you've ever seen like the behind the scenes shit whenever I do stream. But dude, it is a lot on the CPU. So much so most people can't play games and stream from the same device, or from the same PC. That's why they have dual PC stream setups. So it goes into one and then you game off of another.
Okay.
This essentially eliminates the need for that, especially the 3080. Now, the 3070 is something I'll probably get just because
it's a pretty affordable cost.
It's apparently on par with the RTX 2080 Ti, which is their highest one right now. That's not a what's it called? Fucking non-consumer, fucking super powerful shit. What are those called? When it's a non-consumer, God damn it. I'm blanking so hard on this.
You're probably just asking the wrong person too. I don't.
Yeah. So real quick, tell me what you think about all this.
As everyone's probably picked up by now after listening to the show, I don't know shit about any of this. I'm not going to pretend to. Mainly, it's just never interested me, but I definitely, what I'm seeing here is bigger numbers. So I'm just assuming bigger numbers, better output. And from what you're saying, I understand it. I just don't fully grasp the concept because it's just not my realm. But it's pretty cool. Like you said, you'll probably pick up the 3070. It is a pretty it's definitely more affordable than others. And I mean, I was thinking about when I initially saw the trailers for it, I was like, damn, I might pick one of these up for you, because I was like, at the time I was like, shit, with Christmas coming up in a couple months, might as well pick something up. And then you had mentioned it. I was like, yeah, you fucking ruined my present idea, dick.
Again, it's, so there's a couple reasons why I might pick it up. So they're probably going to be hard to find. Not going to lie. But, the other thing is that it allows for a much better, it runs everything so much more efficiently. And that's significant considering that dude, I'm telling you, they're making a huge push on software. Their push on software has been so insane that, they have, coming out with the RTX line, they're going to have, I think the broadcast app was what I was talking about before. So it's going to, make sure your mic is a little bit, there's a noise reduction filter to it, as well as it's going to be able to take your camera and green screen your shit without a green screen.
So it keys out just the whole background and you can input whatever?
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Now, you can currently do this with green screen, but now you won't even need a green screen, which who knows how well that'll work.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that I think it's really good that or it's really smart that they're focusing on the idea of software is really what's going to make sure that they are ahead of everything. It runs 4K and ray tracing incredibly efficient. like so much more efficient than the 2000 line. To put it in perspective, if you understand this, the RTX 2080 for shader teraflops is 11. And for tensor teraflops is 89. So we're going to go just off tensor. We're not going to go off shader. Okay. For tensor teraflops, it's 89, right? The 3070 is 163. The 3080 is 238. And the fucking 3090 is 285. These are insanely powerful cards. And one of the big pushes is its software, that allows it to really streamline a lot of these processes so that they just work more efficient. They were showing the 3080 running a bunch of games in 4K, and it was running them like 186%. At 186% when the 2080 Ti was running them at 100. So like they showed off Shadow of Tomb Raider and so on and so forth. They were showing just how much extra room you have to run other processes. Mm-hmm. Now, with that being said, you are going to need an NVMe SSD. And the reason is that it requires an NVMe SSD and not just a regular SSD in order to run these the way that it works with Microsoft's direct storage. This is it looks like it's a huge jump for multitasking, basically, is what it comes down to. And what I was saying about software before is that remember how Tim Sweeney from Epic came out and said that the PS4 was like more powerful than PCs or whatever the fuck he said. And that was kind of taken out of context. But what he was saying is that the amount of the hardware that you're able to use because of the software cuts out on so much of the shit that Windows bogs down. So in other words, it may at some point in time, without something like NVIDIA stepping in to kind of get the software side mixed out, consoles might be more efficient than PCs one day because of software. Because Windows in the past hadn't taken advantage of everything that you could and bottlenecks the GPU a lot of times and the game. And it seems like NVIDIA is trying to solve those problems so that it maintains relevancy when it comes to PC gaming. Honestly, I think that's pretty awesome. For sure. But again, it is notable that their cheaper card is going to come out sometime in October. No real release date.
I wonder why they didn't give a actual date instead of just the window.
Probably because they know that the 3080 will be more popular.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And the 3090 is not a consumer card. I mean, you could get it, but you're not going to be able to do anything with it unless you're like the 3090 really was made for someone who is like commercial cards almost. They're not called commercial cards. God damn it, why can't I think of it? But they are very much going to be way heavy on what you're able to do multitasking. And the 3090, like I was saying, is more, you're not going to put this in a PC. Honestly, it's incredibly too powerful for anyone to use seemingly almost anything. The most popular card is most certainly going to be, the 3080. And that's, I think, why they're releasing it first. At $699,
Yeah, that's the one I saw everyone talking about when the trailers first came out and it was announced. Everyone was talking just solely about the 3080.
I think it's because of how big of a step incrementally it is. So typically, NVIDIA's year per year, percentage wise increment of performance seems to be around 30. This one's around, like 78 or some shit like that. And it's also because the 3080 was the focus of a lot of shit. Because the 3070 is on par with their current 2080 Ti, which again is fucking insane because that's the best card you can get right now.
How much is that?
That's a commercial card. The 2080 Ti, the 2080 was $699, I want to say, when it released, but it was not charged that much. And the 2080 Ti was like a Founders Edition type. There was a Founders Edition. There was another. I want to say it was closer to 1,000, like 1,100 is, I want to say, what the 2080 Ti was when I was looking on Newegg. It was expensive. You can get that performance in a $500 card. That is truly fucking insane. Bruno, that means that you can... I've always heard the talk of like these $1,000 builds that are, oh, that's an insane gaming rig. It's not. Up until recently, unless you went with an AMD card, it's not been like a Radeon or some shit like that. It's you can't build a PC that'll blow someone out of the water with $1,000. You can build a good one that games pretty well, but again, you're not talking about 4K. You're not talking about ray tracing. You're talking about the bare minimum when it comes to enhanced performance type shit. Bare minimum. Now you can actually max the fuck out at 4K at $1,000. Now you need the peripherals to do so, which means you need a low latency monitor, and those are fucking expensive. Like, gaming monitors are really fucking expensive. But if you say had one, yeah, I mean, or if you got one on the cheap on sale, like a Black Friday thing, yeah, it would be pretty insane. And so the reason they were talking about the 3080 is because that's the next incremental step, which is not incremental. It is a fucking leap. And especially because I'm sure it was a lot of content creators that were talking about the 3080. And I mean, $699 for the kind of performance that it's getting is pretty fucking insane. It is. But I think it's a little bit overkill for anyone who's not heavily doing some shit. Which is why I'm going to go with the 3070 at some point in time.
I do wonder what Black Friday sales are about to look like.
I don't know. They're probably waiting on the PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah, those are most of the big sellers for.
Yeah, because think about it. They can't put out their Black Friday ads because they inevitably will have PS5 and Xbox games, and they would have the PS5 and Series X consoles themselves that they would be advertising, or the controllers, or so on and so forth. Which means that we would need a price. We would need a price for the PS.
Yeah. So I really, that Black Friday might not even be what it usually is this year then, because who fucking knows?
I don't know if Black Friday is going to be what it usually is anyway. I think it's going to be all online.
Well, yeah. It's a good thing we've kind of been shifting towards that anyway.
Online's been way better.
What the last Black Friday last year when we did actually go to a Black Friday on accident.
Oh, yeah.
Empty.
We didn't realize it was Black Friday. Where did we go?
We went to Walmart, which is usually one of the busiest places.
Oh, yeah. So
they just had everything organized.
We went to Walmart around 7:00 on Thanksgiving. Because
they do Black Friday earlier now.
We needed something like whipped cream or something like that.
Something like that.
We needed something stupid. And while I don't necessarily agree with the whole them being open fucking Thanksgiving, they're going to anyways, and they push back the Black Friday shit to start at 8:00. And that was what was so crazy is we were like, what the fuck are they doing in here? What are they talking about? And then we were like, oh shit, bro, Black Friday.
Yeah, because they were like,
it starts at 8.
Taped out lines and everything for where to go. It was completely
got
organized.
We got the fuck out of there.
No one was there anyway, so it didn't even matter.
So super powered GPUs are fucking coming. And seriously, if you can look up some of this software, like if you're interested in this, definitely look up some of the software. And on top of that, I'm a fucking moron who doesn't know, like, I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to like a lot of the technical shit behind GPU performance, specifically with like APIs and teraflops and shit like that. Like I really don't understand some of the performance shit. If you do, go look it up yourself. It is fucking crazy.
Yeah, I can understand visual. I can definitely see the visual aspect of it, but every time it's like verbalized,
Cyberpunk 2077 just got a new trailer showing off its 4K abilities with the RTX 3000 series. So you can go check that out if you want as well. But on to the next story, and we are making these stretch out so long because there's literally this next story and then two other kind of stories that we're going to breeze through.
Kind of stories.
All right. Nintendo had a Mario 35th anniversary Nintendo Direct that came with a few announcements, and basically we're getting an ass ton of Mario ports, most notably N64's Super Mario 64. That came out in, I'm just going to tell you what year they came out, so that you understand, some of the shit. That was 96. GameCube's 2002 Super Mario Sunshine, Wii's 2007 Super Mario Galaxy, and Wii U's 2013 Super Mario 3D World. Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy will be available via Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and the latter coming packaged as Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, a seemingly new add-on to the almost 7-year-old title. 3D All-Stars will release September 18th and 3D World plus Bowser's Fury on February 12th, 2020, with each costing $59.99. Also announced was Game & Watch Super Mario Bros., a device to Nintendo's old Game & Watch handheld systems. Game & Watch Super Mario Bros. Will launch on November 13th in limited quantities and will be discontinued March 2021, and it will be $49.99 retail. The system features a traditional D-pad instead of the usual Game & Watch inputs and allows players to play through both Super Mario Bros. As well as Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, plus the Game & Watch Ball minigame. Will also be playable, but with Mario taking on the lead role. And like all Game & Watch devices, it also functions as a watch, and it's a clock. So
a wrist clock.
Yeah, it's very much a clock. Because it's pretty big. Nintendo has teased that there are 35 secrets to discover on the device. A Mario Kart AR type experience called Mario Kart Live Home Circuit was announced. It lets you race physical karts using your Switch, with up to 3 other players locally. Mario and Luigi versions of the game will be available, and it comes out October 16th for $99.99.
You want to see me whoop your ass in that Mario Kart too?
No, and I'll tell you why in a minute. The 1993 SNES collection Super Mario All-Stars. Actually, no, yeah, let's touch on that real quick. No, absolutely not. Because per local multiplayer, you need a Switch per player. and a cart per player.
Is it for the cart? Is it the Nintendo Labo like cardboard?
No,
they did, or is it a whole separate cart?
No. It's a Mario on the Mario Kart. So it looks like a Mario Kart toy with a sort of camera. What are those things in submarines? The little
the like
optical.
I know the thing you're talking about. You like look down the sights and you view. I don't know what they're called though.
A binocular is binocular.
So that's 2. This would just.
I don't know. Anyways, it looks like coming out the back from Mario, so it's a camera. And it really does look, it looks really cool if it operates the way that it says, which I've never had a problem with Nintendo shit operating differently. But with that being said, you need a Switch per thing, and it's $100 for the cart and the game.
That's too much.
So you would need to buy it at the very least. Someone pointed this out, to get 4 players local multiplayer. And it's of course only local multiplayer because it's AR, which is of course, for those who don't know, augmented reality, which means that it takes the camera and sort of places obstacles in augmented reality on your screen, so you can see the track and
like how when you play Pokemon Go
things.
And that shit pops up
exactly like how if you play Pokemon Go and you choose to go with the AR. Someone pointed out that it would be $1,200 to get 4 people playing locally, and that is if they all have Switch Lites and buy the game.
That's no.
So it's $200 for the Switch Lite and $100 for this. So it's $300 per person,
which is a whole Switch,
and that's not including tax.
Yeah, yikes! I'm definitely not going to play that.
But that's what I'm saying. If you get the Switch Lite, yeah. So if you say wanted to get a regular Switch plus this, it would be $400, which would be $1,600 to get 4 people
play, together. Just to whoop you in Mario Kart again. Small price to pay.
It looks interesting. I would very much like to try it.
Yeah, if someone had it, was like, you want to try this out, I'm definitely.
It also doesn't seem like something I'd want to play by myself. Yeah. I mean, it has like single player modes and shit like that, but it's not.
I wonder how that works with the.
And it only comes in Mario and Luigi.
Like only characters?
Only characters. Who are the physical carts. So the physical carts only come as Mario and Luigi.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
I want to play as Shy Guy.
I would think they would, of course they probably wouldn't make a Shy Guy, but I thought they'd at least make 4. Mario, Luigi,
Toad.
Probably Toad Bowser or Peach Bowser.
Yeah.
Or Peach Toad, and just not have Bowser. I don't fucking know.
No, you gotta have Bowser. He was his cart was the best in Mario Kart 64.
Yeah, but so, it's really weird, kind of expensive thing.
Yeah,
but Nintendo sold you guys cardboard for $80, so just throwing that out there.
Truth.
The next thing that I wanted to talk about that they showed is the 1993 SNES collection Super Mario All-Stars, which includes Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, Super Mario Bros. 2, and Super Mario Bros. 3, all enhanced with 16-bit graphics, as all 4 titles were NES games using 8-bit graphics originally. This collection is available right now via Nintendo Switch Online. Nintendo Switch Online members will also get access to a Mario-themed Battle Royale game called Mario Bros. 35. It throws you into a 2D arena with 34 other players, all battling it out to be the last survivor. It will be available from October 1st until March 31st, 2020. So this
got a little bit of a trend going here.
Yeah. Which we'll get to that at the very end. But this game does look kind of interesting in the fact that like enemies that you beat are sent to other players' screens and vice versa. And then it basically, once you're the last Mario standing, you win. So however long that takes. It looks like I'd try it once, maybe. I don't even know if I have Switch Online. I might not.
I don't think you do.
I have no idea.
You don't play Switch? Not a lot at all.
I think Caleb got it.
Yeah, but you probably don't pay for it anymore. You probably got it for a bit.
I think he got it for a year. The year's pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's what, $20?
Yeah.
So you might.
I think he got it for the year.
You might then.
I don't know.
Which means, I guess, might as well give it a shot.
I might to try some of these out. All right. Yeah. So let's get into what I was just saying. By far, the oddest news, though, is that everything mentioned except Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury and Mario Kart Live Home Circuit are only available to play, if free, or for purchase until March 31st, 2021. A really odd move considering, with the exception of Game & Watch, they can all be purchased digitally. It seems artificially creating supply constraints to a limited release is the tactic that Nintendo is going for to generate more sales, making the product seem exclusive or limited. This in the digital realm is weird, especially considering earlier last month, Nintendo reported operating profits were up 428% in the first fiscal quarter of this year, which is its most recent fiscal quarter, ending on June 30th, 2020.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the best take on this I saw came from Alana Pierce with a tweet reading, quote, "I don't know if I've seen a more blatant example of we need to make more money in these two financial quarters than Nintendo saying they're only selling certain digital goods until very specifically March 31st, which is the end of their fiscal year." Yeah, dude, I don't, this is like that Disney Vault shit, man. I really don't like, I'm okay with a limited run for physical stuff because you can only make so many, right? Mm-hmm. And if you want to just make X amount and have it like a collector's or like a limited run, or I'm perfectly fine with this. Like,
that makes sense because there are definitely
like the Game & Watch thing. The Game & Watch thing, I'm 100% fine with. That makes complete and total sense to me. For being physical, or tell people that it's a fucking limited run on physical. With the
I've never heard of a limited run on digital. Like ever. I'm
trying to think. I don't think I have either. I of course didn't look that up, so I'm not going to say it's never happened. But it's really fucking weird. It is really weird. I really don't like it.
Yeah, I'm low key not surprised just because it's Nintendo and they don't. Yeah. They are always just about making that money.
Well, they also showed off a Puma shoe that's going to come. It looked okay.
Is it a Mario crossover for the anniversary?
Yeah, it's like a 64. It's just like a red with like blue accents and then like a white sole.
All these shoe brands are doing these really cool crossovers, but making really shitty shoes.
It's not a cool crossover.
Ugly.
It's not even a cool crossover. Like it's a decent looking shoe, but it just looks like a regular shoe. Mm. Like probably there's like a tag or some like a little,
because like Lego just did their Adidas crossover. It looks terrible.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But like it doesn't look like the Mario Vans crossover. Like they were very clearly Mario shoes. Mm-hmm. Or I think it was a Nintendo. Did they have Zelda shoes? Did I not
to
buy
my knowledge,
Zelda
I think
shoes?
It was just Mario. I do not recall seeing Zelda. If it was, I think it was an NES specific crossover. Because I've seen the Mario shoes that say like "Game Over" on the soles at the bottom, and then they have like the little 8-bit Marios on them. But I'm not entirely aware if they have. That'd be really cool. I could definitely see that being a thing, but I'm pretty sure it was just Mario. I could be wrong though.
It wasn't.
Oh, that's unfortunate. No one does fucking Zelda products. Lego, hop on that now that you got Mario.
They're not particularly. They're okay. Yeah. They're not. They're here. I'm gonna throw it in the doc so you can see it. Mm. they're like I said, they're kind of okay. Yeah, I don't. And they were leather.
I don't like that.
Yeah, they're
That's
leather
not a good design
on top of it.
I would have liked if it said it like it had the "It's dangerous to go alone. Take this" on like on the side of the sole, or like something like that, and had like
this just kind of seems like a kind of lazy design.
This doesn't look like something a company should make. This looks like your friend custom printed their own Zelda shoes.
Yeah, and because they're on it's on leather shoes.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Puma shoes, you can't really tell that they're Mario. I don't. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Did you see the Lego Adidas, by the way, since I mentioned them?
I did. I wasn't very. I was just like, no thanks.
Not.
Yeah.
Like I said, all these cool crossover ideas.
The
really
anime ones are really cool. All the anime
like the Dragon Ball ones.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
those ones did look really cool. The Frieza junks were.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not. I don't like this idea of exclusivity via a limited run. I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me.
I don't know if I'll really,
especially with digital stuff.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to say, let's see, the Super Mario Bros. 35 is going to be limited until March 31st, 2021, to see if that's something that people want to play.
Yeah.
And then you'll continue keeping the servers
see how that goes.
Yeah. I'm 100% okay with that. Or, even the All-Stars, Super Mario All-Stars, the original SNES port, that's coming to Nintendo Switch Online. I'm not particularly upset with them rotating stuff from Switch Online. It is really fucking weird that they're doing this with everything else, though. Like, why?
Like I said, it's Nintendo at this point. Anytime they're just blatantly trying to just make their money, I'm not surprised anymore.
Yeah, but the idea of a company bringing back that Disney Vault shit, like for those that don't know, before Disney Plus, there was this thing called the Disney Vault, and movies would go into the Disney Vault and come out, every 10 years? So, do you know about the Disney Vault?
I have no idea what that is.
So the Disney Vault, is the reason why when I was a kid, you couldn't just buy any movie that was Disney on VHS or later on DVD, because they would re-release these movies from time to time. Now, typically they enhanced them. So like they did with the Star Wars stuff. And there were certain ones that sold like really well. Like Snow White would always sell really well. The Disney classics would always sell really well. So Pinocchio, Lion King in the later years. But basically any movie that wasn't a straight to video, movie was put in the Disney Vault, and it only came out every 10 years or so. And so they created, this idea that when one came out, everyone wanted to buy one because,
it would be another 10 years before it
would be another 10 years because they would put it back in the vault after a certain period of time. So they created this idea of like artificial, they created artificial demand by creating, limited availability. And it's really weird to see something digital do this.
Yeah.
It's, for example, the reason why the Disney Vault really doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Thank God they just did Disney Plus.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's another reason why the Disney Vault doesn't exist. Which I'm very curious to see the numbers on Mulan. That comes out officially today.
Yeah.
So it'll be out. I'm really curious.
It'll be out already by the time this comes out.
$30 plus Disney Plus.
Yeah. And you only get to keep it as long as you keep paying for Disney Plus.
Yeah. Now,
so remember to do that. If
another thing that I do want to mention, that I don't particularly care for is Nintendo's pricing with some of this shit. So I'm okay with the price of Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Excuse me, I have hiccups. Jesus. 3D All-Stars, because it has 3 games that people have been asking for a port, which is Super Mario 64, which technically did get a port to DS and then 3DS later.
I own the DS one. It's pretty fun playing it on that.
Super Mario Sunshine and Galaxy, which have not got ports. Now, the fact that you would sell all 3 of these in a $60 game is smart. Because these ports you could sell for probably about $20 to $30 by themselves, but probably not 64. You probably need $20. But Sunshine and Galaxy, you could probably sell for $30 or $40 by themselves.
Yeah.
But putting them all together and basically putting $20 on each of them. So it'd be as if you were paying $20 for 64, $20 for Sunshine, and $20 for Galaxy. I don't really have a problem with that. I think that's a relatively good value at this point. Of course, the ports are going to be up-res and controls slightly different, so on and so forth. I do have a problem with Super Mario 3D World, though. That was a Wii U game. I liked it.
Yeah, they're fun.
I thought it was really good. And Bowser's Fury, which I don't even, they didn't even go into detail on what it was. So it's an add-on of some sort. You're charging $60 for what would otherwise be, if they would have came out with Bowser's Fury, and it is an add-on. Otherwise that would have been like a Game of the Year edition, right? Yeah. Like, cause it very much, they pushed it as DLC, for 3D World. It's DLC on a 7-year-old game. And you're selling a port of a Wii U game for $60? Like, it's just, this whole thing reeks of corporate greed.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The whole Nintendo is just trying to make that money.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. No. It's like, I think pretty fucking clear.
I think they just know that everyone knows now, but everyone's going to buy it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It just, I don't like it.
Isn't it weird that by the time you were born, Mario was only 6 years old, but it was like still a classic? It's 35 years. 6 years later, was it?
Yeah.
A little bit older if you want to count Jumpman from Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
But Mario as a franchise.
Huh.
It was only 6 years old whenever you were first born.
One of the first games I remember playing, I actually think the first game I remember playing is Super Mario Bros.
That's awesome.
The one on NES with Duck Hunt.
Nice.
And then my next memory of games is Super Mario World for the NES and Donkey Kong Country. That was it. No. Super Mario World was SNES. I think I said NES. I meant SNES.
Super Mario World's my favorite Mario.
And
that game's so good.
Country was SNES as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's
because
those games.
Donkey Kong Country 64 was when they introduced the DK rap, which is one of my favorite video game songs.
Yeah. It's notable. Rare made that game. They used to.
Donkey Kong Country 64?
No, Donkey Kong. I don't know about 64. I know they made Country.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, which they're now owned by Microsoft. So, hopefully we get some good shit out of them soon. But moving on to our next story, Bruno, you want to go ahead and take this one?
I got this one. So last week we mentioned a lot of stuff from DC fandom, mostly the Batman. And unfortunately, we have some bad news involving the Batman. So the movie has just halted filming again, just a few days after they had actually presumed. And it's due to Robert Pattinson actually testing positive for COVID-19. Now, Warner Brothers' statement claims that, quote, a member of the Batman production has tested positive for COVID-19 and is isolating in accordance with established protocols. filming is temporarily paused, end quote. So the statement doesn't say Pattinson by name, but Vanity Fair was the first to break the story, and they said that, quote, a highly placed source was who confirmed that it was actually Robert Pattinson who was the individual that they were talking about. And as of time of recording, Pattinson's representatives have made no comment on this report.
Huh. Yeah, I saw this and not Robert trending on Twitter today.
I saw that too. And I was like, damn it.
Yeah, it sucks, but
yeah, it's obviously for the safety of everyone, so can't really be mad.
I'm very curious because they said that production is temporarily paused. I'm really interested in. You would think that they should probably film scenes that don't have a minute.
Yeah, which just makes me question, like, he must be in most. I mean, it is a Batman movie, but even then, there are scenes in every other Batman movie where you just have other character moments, especially with like the villains. They'll have their moments.
Yeah. So
it's questionable as to like he truly must be largely in this movie, which makes me happy just because I want to see this character a lot because I want to see the different sides of his take on it. Yeah,
and I mean, it is quite possible that they already got all those scenes filmed.
Yeah, it very well could be. I mean, 25% of the movie is what we saw.
Yeah,
from the trailer.
He's in a lot of the trailer. Yeah, so I don't know. Sucks. Yeah, that means 2021 probably won't be hit. But given Matt Reeves' affinity for what is it, non-CG practical effects, dude, I'm so fucking practical effects.
I have a soft spot in my heart for practical effects, mainly because one of the first times I remember being that such a huge part of a movie that had these fantastical elements was Star Wars, and it's crazy to think how much of that is practical.
Most
from the original, at least. If you go back and of course watch special edition, there's added in CG.
Yeah,
but
most of it's all practical.
There's a lot of movie magic behind that, and I have a huge respect, especially now being someone who really gets into a lot of that. I truly respect being able to pull it off.
Yeah, but my point being, Reeves said that none of the trailer had any CG.
That was Jeffrey Wright.
Oh, Jeffrey Wright. And that's the reason I bring that up is that there won't be a lot of post then.
No, it's probably just going to be ADR and then editing the actual film together.
Yeah,
like anything else.
So
it could be possible that
still hit that
because it was just what was in the trailer wasn't CG. So maybe there will be scenes with CG. But honestly, from what we're seeing, I don't know.
have no doubt there'll be scenes with CG. CG is so prominent in filming today that Grown Ups 2?
Yeah.
You know the scene where they're out on the lake and they take the bird and they let it go?
Yeah, the flag is CG.
That's all CG.
Too. Yeah.
Like that entire thing, the bird, the flag, everything's CG in that shot.
It's so weird.
Which goes to show you, even movies that don't necessarily need that's so easy to practically do. You get a fucking fan and you get a bird.
Yeah, the one thing I am interested to see though is because if there will be CG at some point in the film, there was the shot in the trailer of him using the grappling hook going up the stairwell without, and if that's a practical effect, I wonder what they're saving CG for. Or if it's just for smaller stuff because maybe there is so much practical to where they really just need to touch a few things up.
Yeah.
Could be either.
It could be.
Because Christopher Nolan with Tenet, he was talking about how he doesn't really like to use CG.
Christopher Nolan.
He takes it to a different... there are, of course, movies like Interstellar gotta use CG.
Yeah, but naturally.
He's, like they did their stunts in reverse because there are a lot of moments because it's a time movie where the time will go in reverse, and so they learned
in Tenet.
Yeah, they learned a lot of their stunts backwards basically, and filmed them in reverse because he really doesn't like using CG that much. So that's pretty cool too.
I know I talked to you about it before. Did we talk about it on the podcast about the scene in Inception? Like
we didn't talk about it on here,
hallway.
but yeah, when they're in the hallway and it's turning,
in
that's
the
a practical effect.
Yeah, the hallways
turn
turning.
It's like on a gyroscope of some sort.
It's fucking insane. Absolutely insane. Nolan's
really smart when it comes to filmmaking.
Yeah.
Like probably one of the smartest.
And so I think that we still might see 2021, but it's looking not so hopeful.
Yeah. I saw something today actually that Francis Ford Coppola, who directed the Godfather trilogy, was saying he's going to redo the third one essentially and make it a more fitting ending. So it's a brand new movie that's essentially part 3 of the Godfather, but just retconning 3 so that it can be a different ending.
With who?
I don't know. Because everyone in that movie is old as shit or probably dead.
I mean, what was the Irish? Is he going to do the Irishman?
I mean, I guess he could try to use that tech since it did work pretty well for the Irishman. It still bothers me because the CG is really good CG, but it's so weird seeing them de-aged and then you see how old they actually look.
No. It's a new edit.
Oh, okay.
So The Godfather 3 is going to be returning to theaters with a completely new edit, different ending to make it fit a little bit better.
So it could just be something that was already filmed?
I'm going to assume that it was something that was already filmed.
Yeah.
Because The Godfather Part 3 came out in 1990.
Ooh.
So
I'm not a fan of those movies.
Yikes.
I've
never seen
them. For me. I mean, they're classics, I guess, so far as film is concerned. But if you're not one of those people who are like, oh, I got to see the classics, don't watch it.
Wow, hold on.
I personally think Goodfellas is better.
Yeah,
I think it's a better mob movie. It's definitely a shorter one. The Godfather movie, all of them are long in the story. I mean, the third one's kind of shit. The second one's known for being like one of the best movie sequels.
So. Hold on. That's I never really realized this about The Godfather either. The first Godfather came out 1972.
Mm-hmm.
Godfather Part 2 came out 1974. Part 3 came out in 1990.
Yeah. I didn't know the second part came out that much, like that close to the original.
Holy shit. Between 2 and 3, that is 16 years.
Yeah. That's almost like, I'd say at that point, that's a bit too long.
Kind of fucking insane.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh. All right. Well, yeah. So anyways, what were we talking about?
We were just talking about how, movies and like Christopher Nolan's using practical effects and Matt Reeves doing the same thing with the Batman.
Yeah.
I thought it was also cool that Christopher Nolan was like, he would really love John David Washington to play Jon Stewart. And I'm down with that.
Yeah. That sounds, personally, I prefer Idris Elba.
Yeah. Of course, but he's already in DC.
Dude,
now.
I want Idris Elba in everything.
Same.
That's my problem. Bond, Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Batman, Idris Elba.
I'd be down with that. Yeah, I mean, he's in DC now, thankfully, as a Bloodsport for Suicide Squad.
I think Idris Elba is the only person I would accept seeing as Tony Stark.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
We mentioned this before, so I'm just going to say it just because it's for fun. Morpheus. Because we mentioned how no one else could play Morpheus.
No, absolutely not. Lawrence Fishburne.
Okay.
That's it.
I just had to throw that one in there.
That is the one and only Morpheus. It'd be like someone else playing Neo. I simply won't accept it.
If they did do a young Morpheus, is there anyone that comes to mind who would do, if not as good of a job, maybe the best job possible? It could be Lawrence Fishburne's son, because he played the younger version of his character in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
No, not Lawrence Fishburne's son. It's gonna be, this is gonna sound really fucking stupid. It really is. Jordan Peele.
That'd be pretty cool. I like Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
He's actually a really good actor.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something recently, since we mentioned Matrix, how Hugo Weaving isn't coming back for Agent Smith.
No, Agent Smith's dead.
Well, yeah, he had said just due to scheduling conflicts. So it seems like they maybe tried to get him in
due to scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, which got me wondering.
What's going to be the story of the Matrix 4?
I don't know, but that got me wondering, what's he doing that's got his schedule filled? And then I was like, Lord of the Rings, Amazon Prime, Elrond.
Oh shit! No, actually, yeah, probably. That's got his schedule filled to the point that he wouldn't come back for Matrix. Yeah.
But that just, like you said, it just kind of, what is this movie about to be about if seemingly he's approached it?
You know what? I hope he was just saying, no, I can't because scheduling conflicts. And like they never reached out type thing.
Okay.
I hope he's just saying it on the fact of like, no, I couldn't schedule.
Like if someone just asked him in an interview and he's just like,
where he's not like, oh no, they haven't reached out. He didn't, no, I have scheduling conflicts. I can't. I can't. But that does kind of insinuate that he might have been reached out to.
Which what is this movie going to be?
I don't know. I'm really interested though. It comes out like a fucking week.
What if they tried to soft
Wick.
reboot Matrix, but still kind of keep continuity?
You know, there was something that was thrown around before that they were thinking about doing a reboot for Matrix, and then someone said soft reboot, and then we got news of Matrix 4. So I don't know.
I'm interested.
The Matrix trilogies is one of my favorite ever, but I don't know.
Yeah. Animatrix is also really good too.
Animatrix is really good. Yeah.
Not part of the live action film trilogy, but it's canon.
Yeah.
Within Matrix.
Yeah,
so it's definitely worth watching if you're a Matrix fan and haven't seen it.
I even like those games.
Are the games canon within the universe? Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, in fact, Matrix
Enter the Matrix? Or Path of Neo?
Enter the Matrix. Enter the Matrix, you can play as 2 playable characters, and it's Niobe and Ghost. Let me make sure this is the right game. Okay. And I think I know Niobe, and I think the other one is Ghost. Yeah. Anthony Wong, who plays Ghost, and Jada Pinkett Smith, who plays Niobe, shot scenes for this game.
Oh, really?
There are actually live action scenes.
So like
in
the
this
cutscenes,
the cutscenes are live action. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure every game that had a movie counterpart, they used the film and then just faded into the gameplay. Because I know Star Wars did that and Lord of the Rings did that a good bit with their games, which now it's not something you can really do. But it was something that was pretty cool then, just to see it fade into the graphics, and then you'd be like, oh my god, looks just like it. I remember when I used to see that with the old Lord of the Rings games.
Yeah. This was one of the only ones I'd ever seen that had exclusive footage, though.
Yeah.
Where it really was shot for this game. And then of course I'm pretty sure they did their lines.
Yeah, I would think if they have them for the scenes, they'd probably get the lines going.
Yeah, so Enter the Matrix was between I think the first
and the second,
or I think it might take place simultaneously with the second. I can't 100% remember.
I haven't played. I've never played Path of Neo, but I haven't played Enter the Matrix in forever.
Yeah. But yeah, it adds a lot of shit to the Matrix, actually, to that whole universe. I really liked Path of Neo, and I liked Enter the Matrix. We were talking about the Matrix online. I never played that one.
I've never heard of it until today.
Remember it. But yeah, it's they were good games. I think
it's a lot of people how like everything within that universe that's like official from I don't know who it's Warner Brothers who owns it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's kind of cool how like it's all canonical though, because like you don't see that with most universes or a lot of games. It's usually like, oh, this is just a standalone thing. It has nothing to do with any of the actual story.
It's a Warner Brothers thing.
So I think that's cool how they have like Animatrix, the movies, and the games, and it's all connected and it's all canonical. I think that's cool.
Yeah. It is pretty cool.
I'd say that's like, to my knowledge, one of the first franchises to do that. Because we see that now with Star Wars. But I've never heard of anyone else doing something like that before.
I'm
Riddick?
not really sure.
Riddick was the game. Those games were canonical with the movies, right?
Yeah. They were. But those games, I think whoever was writing it wrote those games. So yeah. But yeah, I don't want to see anyone else as Morpheus.
That's fair.
I don't. And what I was going to say about Jordan Peele is, again, because he's going to be playing a younger Morpheus, it would kind of even be hard for him to play it right now.
Yeah,
he's a little bit too old to be. He's right around the age, I think that Lawrence Fishburne was whenever he played Morpheus.
Played him, yeah.
Which if the other actors are older than, I guess, but I assume you would get someone younger than Morpheus from the first one.
Yeah, I'm curious
if you're going for
what
a younger
they're doing.
Morpheus.
If they are doing a younger Morpheus, but everyone else is the same age. I wonder I'm really just curious about what this plot is.
I
mean, it's the Matrix, so you kind of don't know what to expect a good bit. So
I'm interested. I don't want them to fuck it up. I really hope they don't fuck it up.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
it's a good thing that we're getting more Keanu Reeves though. Just overall,
yeah.
It was his birthday not too long ago, so happy birthday, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
belated.
Keanu Reeves is pretty awesome.
He's got Bill and Ted out right now. If you're a Keanu Reeves fan, I haven't seen this one, but
yeah,
I'm gonna check it out.
So Jordan Peele is 41. He's actually a little bit older than
for real.
Fishburne.
How old was Lawrence Fishburne?
Lawrence Fishburne is 59, which means that when he was filming The Matrix, he was younger than that.
Damn.
Because The Matrix came out when he was 39. So I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah. Anyways, last story is Disney's The Mandalorian Season 2 got a release date of October 30th this year and a new logo to go with it. But still no word on a trailer. Motherfucker.
Yeah, which is weird. We're a month away.
Yeah, the new Mandalorian logo is just, of course, the Mandalorian.
It's the same logo,
print,
essentially.
And he's just holding Baby Yoda's hand.
The font's blue instead of that orange color before, and he's holding Baby Yoda's hand.
Instead of just him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty fucking excited.
Yeah, I mean...
For Mandalorian
I'm cool going
2.
in blind. I'm cool going in knowing about, like, at this point, I just love seeing the show in these characters that we've got to know. So at this point, I just want to see
There's also a rumor floating around out there that Ahsoka will be in the trailer.
Yeah, I've seen that rumor.
If Ahsoka's in this fucking season, I seriously don't see why you wouldn't put her in the fucking trailer.
Yeah, that'll get all eyes on you. Could be why they're saving it, I guess.
Because I don't think Ahsoka is going to play a huge part. I think it's going to lead into her spinoff show.
I think she's in an episode 2 at most.
Yeah, I think it leads into a spinoff show for Ahsoka. Which who's playing Ahsoka?
Live action?
Yeah.
Supposedly, because there's no technical confirmation, but more than likely Rosario Dawson is who it seems to be, which I'm 100% down with. I love Rosario Dawson.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. I don't really need Ahsoka, and I love Ahsoka, don't get me wrong. I don't need her in this. So, even if she's not actually in it, because we don't really know.
Yeah, I think it's just introducing her. Because Rosario Dawson also, like, pretty heavily, like, I'm in Star Wars, but not gonna say if I'm Ahsoka. Wink, wink.
Yeah,
didn't she, like...
It's essentially how that's going.
But I hope so. Dude, I fucking love Ahsoka.
I honestly want to know what... I'm assuming her show is going to be somewhat related to spoilers for Star Wars Rebels. It's been out, so fuck off. I'm assuming it's her and Sabine going out to find Ezra after he vanished at the end of the show. because that was the whole point of the very end of the show, is her and Ahsoka going to go find Ezra.
Maybe her and Sabine found Ezra.
Yeah, and maybe they could be looking for Baby Yoda, for all we know, or maybe they feel him in the Force and sense his presence.
Maybe that would be really interesting if we see Ezra show up too.
Yeah, get Taylor Gray actually in there as fucking Ezra. That'd be dope. He's the voice actor. He could actually play a live action.
Does he look like Ezra?
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing that on purpose, huh?
Yeah, so that they can translate the characters into live action pretty easily.
I kind of want Kanan.
Yeah, I mean, but he did.
Kanan. I know.
You can get him as you can still have Kanan as the Lothwolf version of himself.
Yeah, but hold on. If he, okay, that would be
Lothwolf. He doesn't speak for real, but it's still Kanan.
You can make him speak, couldn't you?
The only things he's ever said is he says Doom, but D-U-M-E, because Kanan's real name is Caleb Doom. He changed his name after the Purge.
That's stupid.
Kanan Jarrus is a way cooler name.
Couldn't you use the whole fucking world between worlds thing?
Yeah. So I will mention
and bring back Kanan.
You could, but that could be something they touch on in the Ahsoka show of like maybe you shouldn't mess with time in this way, because the person who showed Ezra or like kind of nudged him towards the world between worlds a lot was, I forget her name. That little fucking bird thing that follows Ahsoka so heavily, and it's almost, I believe it's almost reincarnation essentially of the sister from Clone Wars, and because Ahsoka, I believe saved her life in the Mortis arc, so she saved Ahsoka's life by having Ezra pull her out of the world between worlds when she fought Vader, because she would have died.
You kind of know what. You want to know what I kind of think is both plausible and I would actually like to see is fucking what's the actor's name who plays goddamn fucking new Star Wars game.
Cal
Kestis.
That's Cameron Monaghan.
He looks fucking identical to him.
Well, yeah, he did the mocap.
Yeah.
That's his face.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What if he pops up in this?
That'd be interesting. And with the way that game, with the way that game ends,
everyone who's in that game mocap their shit, and they look like they're all actors.
Yeah, that was the whole point. Like you said, they're doing that on purpose now so that they can translate them.
But they're like TV show actors.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure almost all of them.
So what if, that's what I'm saying. What if they pop up in like Ahsoka or Mandalorian? Yeah, that would be pretty dope.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cool way to meld all these universes together.
I mean, Homeboy's not doing Gotham anymore, is he? Yeah.
But Gotham's been over.
Oh, okay.
Gotham ended before he even started on.
Thank the Lord.
He was great in Gotham, though. If you've never seen him as Joker, he's actually does a really good job. He's one of the best parts of the show.
I've seen bits and pieces. No, thank you.
Yeah, he's not the best, but I like it.
I'm just not there for it, man.
I never finished Gotham. I'm on, last I checked, season 3 or 4, so there's like Court of Owls going on.
Yeah, I very much like reimaginings to stick to comic runs. I don't...
Not them creating their own thing. I think it works sometimes.
Animated movies or movies. Yeah. I don't... Just kind of like a one-off thing.
Yeah.
Gotham is kind of trash. Just like how Batgirl. I had no interest in Batgirl from.
Well, yeah, Batwoman is
Batwoman. Fucking stupid.
Well, there is an actual difference so far as the character for Batwoman. The Batwoman and Batgirl, two different people.
Yeah, whatever the show was
is Batwoman. Yeah, yes. That show I haven't seen, but that show's probably not going to do too well considering they already lost Batwoman and the show's not even about Batwoman anymore because they're not recasting. They're just making a new character. Which creating something new works sometimes because when they created the Arkham Knight, even though that's basically just the Red Hood.
Yeah.
So it's not anything too new. Gotham took a lot of liberties. Too many, I'd say.
A lot of liberties, bro.
I'm fine with some of them, Most of them I'm not really there for. I've watched a good bit of the show to the point where I feel like I might as well finish it.
They have like an Alfred spinoff show now, don't they?
It's not related to Gotham. Completely different thing.
Yeah,
but they do. Pennyworth is the name of the show, which they are still continuing, I think.
That's what I'm saying. It just,
which is weird. Why? That I don't really get.
Here's my problem. Pennyworth is supposed to be about him as like an MI6 agent, right?
Yeah, it's something about like him before he actually met the Waynes. Because he was like in the military or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, but the British military, like he was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was MI6.
Yeah, it was something like that. He was definitely like covert ops.
But like, dude, that it didn't need to be Alfred. Like it sounds like a rather interesting.
I'd rather
concept for a show.
I'd rather you just do the Dick Grayson.
Why did it have to be Alfred?
You could have done the Dick Grayson as a detective thing. When he was New 52, he was a detective in Bloodhaven. Which, you could have done that instead. He's still Nightwing, so you could have had him. It would have been like a dual person, not personality.
Isn't he the only other person Ra's al Ghul called detective? Because he always calls Batman detective. Like Bruce Wayne.
I don't know if it's him or Tim Drake, because Tim Drake's actually considered to be the best detective of the Robins.
Then it's Tim Drake.
Because Tim Drake actually used he taught himself detective skills, and that's how he found out that Batman and Robin were Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne.
No, it's Tim Drake. Tim Drake is the other one he calls detective.
Yeah.
Just pretty
it's kind of cool how Batman just finds these fucking prodigy children. Well, I guess Jason Todd wasn't a prodigy.
I don't know if it's cool, but yeah.
It's weird.
It's something.
Yeah.
Kidnapping. Child endangerment.
Jason Todd was not a prodigy. He caught him trying to steal the fucking hubcaps off the fucking Batmobile. How much
child endangerment do you think Batman's responsible for?
All of it.
Because, like, some of the only people that knew, the only person within the Justice League, I forget which fucking canonical line. One of them, you guys. Fucking don't crucify me. One of the fucking runs of comics, or it might have even been the animated show. I can't remember. He knew Shazam was a kid. I think he knew Shazam was 12.
I remember in Young Justice, he knew he was a kid.
Yeah, and he was cool. He was like the only Justice League member who accepted him.
Yeah.
And then when the rest of them found out, they were like heated at Batman that he was okay with that. And then they were like, oh, well, never mind. Look at your fucking tons of Robins. Naturally, you're
one
cool
of
with
them
child
has
endangerment.
died, and Batgirl, Batgirl's gotten crippled, and your son.
Yeah, but she was older, wasn't she?
She's still pretty young though. She was still like she's probably older than every Robin when they started, but she was still pretty young.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't. They were all pretty fucking young.
It was very fucked up how she got paralyzed too. I don't know if you've ever read The Killing Joke. It's a very good comic. But
Joker shoots her? I don't.
Yeah, he shoots her in the spine.
Yeah.
It like comes to the door and then like basically strips her down and takes pictures of her because the whole point is he's trying to fuck with Gordon mentally because the whole point of Killing Joke is one of my favorite lines. I'm definitely paraphrasing, but it's he says the difference between someone like me and someone like you talking to Batman, like basically talking about Gordon. The whole point was the only difference between you and me is you are one bad day from becoming me. All it takes is one bad day for you to become me.
Oh yeah, but in that comic, wasn't he a failed stand-up?
That's
comedian?
where that origin comes in.
Yeah, and then he falls into the vat of acid.
He's a failed comic, and he needs money, and these dudes hire him just to be the Red Hood as like a mascot. And then he falls in. Yeah, like he has a bad. Yeah. I didn't. The whole point was he was trying to mentally fuck Gordon up so that he would.
I didn't
try to turn.
I didn't actually particularly care for that.
I like that one.
That comic.
It's weird.
I know that's not a popular opinion.
The movie is not good.
Yeah.
Don't watch the movie. Does some weird shit. There's a fucking sex scene with Batgirl and Batman in that movie. I do not like that movie.
You know what one of my favorite Batman things of all time.
What's that?
Is College Humor's.
Oh yeah.
Batman, Talia al Ghul, and
the Bane. Yeah, Bane's death, I guess.
Yeah,
from Dark Knight Rises.
fucking God. If you haven't seen it, go look it up.
All of their Batman skits are hilarious.
But that one in particular is fucking hilarious. Do not watch it around children.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. Or around like anyone who's going to judge you for.
Don't watch it around sensitive people.
Really fucking hilarious, fucked up shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, typically we would go into, our bad take in the industry of, that we felt this week. We're kind of running over, oddly enough.
That's weird. I mean, we did go off on a good bit of tangents.
Yeah, and I don't really have any bad takes.
Nintendo too expensive. That's not a bad take, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe the PlayStation stuff.
Yeah,
the PS5 pre-orders.
Yeah,
but we already touched on that. So
yeah, and everyone else was kind of in agreement.
Yeah. So.
I didn't see a ton of what other people said, but I saw a couple things, and not a lot of people were happy with it. I don't know. I'll leave you with a bad take that I saw. Period.
What are your bad takes?
Someone said that I said Miley Cyrus saying yes, like YAS, like yes, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Was cultural appropriation. It's not. Eat a dick. Fuck off. Not a huge Miley Cyrus fan, by the way. I just saw that and I was like, that's by no means cultural appropriation. Just gonna throw that out there.
I like that you clarified.
Yeah. No, I'm not. Well, because I hate the stands.
Yeah.
I'm not a stand for anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
AOC, for other reasons. Fucking love Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Not for her politics in particular. Just for everything else she does. She's fucking brilliant. Anyways.
I hate you.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Most people do. Anyways, thank you for listening, you guys. Again, saying yes as a white person is not cultural appropriation. Like, that's so asinine. It's
saying it as any person is just, I guess, silly. It's just a goofy thing to say.
You shouldn't say it because it's kind of stupid. Unless there are a few people that I've seen nail it properly, where I'm like,
who's nailed it?
You can say it. I don't fucking know. Just very few people. In my day to day, I've met one or two. Really
when
no
they
one I've
say
seen
it,
online.
When they say it in your head, do you go yes back at them, but you know you can't say it because you're not one of those people who is good at it?
No, yeah, I don't say it because it would sound fucking stupid coming out of my mouth.
Yeah,
I
don't say it. The same reason that I don't.
It's not cultural appropriation, you guys. We're getting fucking done with some of this stuff. So that is that. Like I said, thank you for listening. To get the show early as well as other perks, the ability to write in, questions read on the show, have your name read as a producer at the end of the show. All those. You can head on over to patreon.com/GamesTechMM where tiers start at just $1. Definitely follow on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch at GamesTechMM. Remember, if you like the show, please don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on whatever you're listening to. Hit that 5-star. Tell us what you like, or maybe don't like. I don't know. We're not your moms. We're not telling you what to do.
But statistically, it is impossible to dislike this show. I've proven that.
To get to this point, you either really dislike us or you really like us. So definitely hit that 5-star. Leave us a review. It helps out with algorithms and so on and so forth, who this gets suggested to, and helps the show grow quite a bit. Don't forget to share with whoever you would like. We welcome all in our embrace.
I don't know if I have an embrace, but
I wanted to sound like a religion. We're a cult now. No, let me not say that before we end up on a watch list.
Yeah, don't say that.
I read the other day that if you simply Googled Tor browser, Like if you looked into Tor browser, you're on a fucking government watch list.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about
I'm
that
not saying this, so this isn't like sheer conjecture. It was an actual article that was stating one of the like Snowden leaks or something like that. They were just like reiterating that like, yeah, by the way, like if you looked into internet security, you're most likely on this particular government watch list. And I was just like, oh, well, that's a lot of fucking people. So we might be already. But it's definitely not a cult. All the love of a cult. None of the weird shit. That's what I'm going to say. That's what we'll go with.
Okay.
You guys, I think that's what we're going to end on. Remember, to get our true loving embrace, head on over. Patreon.com/GameStackMN. I know. I like to
putting on the ASMR voice. I don't like it.
ASMR is kind of disturbing.
It is very disturbing.
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like sound claustrophobia.
Yeah. Bruno doesn't plug his shit because he's a bitch. Remember, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, @GameStackMN.